You've just won £1 million on the lottery. Do you buy this 458 for 100 grand or the 296 for 200 grand?
Obviously you'd add the 458, it's better value, it's done all the depreciation, and look at it, it's timeless, plus it's naturally aspirated. What more would you want?
We're going to cover some key areas on both cars, and at the end, crunch the numbers and see which one you're taking home. Well, I'd want 800 horsepower, all the latest tech, and a more up-to-date Ferrari, obviously.
Ooh, hybrid Ferrari?
Yeah.
Does everyone always want that?
One thing I will give you, the cold start on the 458 is definitely the one.
Yeah, tons better.
Before we go for a drive, please click that subscribe button. We're only a small channel, we've got some cool content coming out.
Cold start, which are you taking? Easily the 458.
Starting with the aesthetics on the car, the 458 is probably one of the prettiest Ferraris ever made, and it's unquestionably a Ferrari. You take the badges off, everyone would recognise this car. The 296, however, I don't know if it holds that same kind of curb appeal.
It's not as iconic, I don't think. Plus the 458 is now, what, 15 years old, and it still looks really, really good. I just don't think that style there on the 296 is just going to age as well.
I do agree in terms of what Jordan's saying about the 458. They are at the bottom of the market now, and I think they're fairly depreciation proof. Yes, there are going to be some running costs and servicing, but at 200 grand, the 296, this one was £300,000 new. It's taken a massive hit already. I think they're a fairly safe buy at 200 grand now. Let's take both cars out for a drive and see how they compare. JBR speaker.
Yeah, top quality speaker system.
Come from factory. Do you know what? That was actually a tip off Tom Hartley Jr.
Was it?
Yeah, Classic Cars. He says because instead of messing around with the sound system, keep it all original.
Yeah.
Just chuck a speaker in the car.
Top tier speaker. These Daytona seats, to be fair, are really comfortable. The carbon seats, because we had one, didn't we, that were about the same time, Paul's, that we sold.
Yeah.
They had the carbon seats, and they look and feel generally nicer, but these are just more comfortable and livable.
Yeah, we call these the fat boy seats, don't we?
These are the fat boy seats, yeah. You got
Comfort.
Daytona seats? Yeah.
You're taking your missus out for dinner?
Yes.
You want the comfort seats, don't you?
Yeah, you can't gracefully get out of a bucket. It's just a classic, this car. It's so good.
Right, let's go.
Just sounds so good. I mean, compared to the 296, just doesn't have that same kind of real kind of raw sound, which you kind of want out of a Ferrari.
Absolutely. So this is the V8 naturally aspirated. There's no turbos, certainly no hybrid technology, is there?
No.
So it's like the last
Purist Ferrari.
Yeah, when it goes to the 488, we're into the turbocharged engine, aren't we?
Yeah.
Arguably, when this came out, that might be one of the most exciting times in terms of what cars are coming out and around. Whereas now, I don't know, have some of the newer cars, is it lost that specialness of what's...
In terms of what was around and available at the time, there wasn't as much as what's on the market now.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost a little bit saturated.
I'm kind of the opinion that new cars, they all kind of do the same thing a little bit.
100%. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you took 5 supercars from 2010 and lined them up, they'd all be very different in terms of how they feel, how they sound, how they drive.
Yeah,
you could probably get 5 hyper supercars, take them all out for a drive, you know, and today they probably feel quite similar, I would have thought. Should we go around a bit?
Yeah. It still sounds so good.
That sound is just unreal, isn't it?
It's just the way it sort of crackles as well. Sick. So sick. It's hard not to smile when you're in a car like
this. That change on the gearbox is just lightning quick now, even by today's standards.
Dead snappy.
Not a bad day job, is it?
There's worse things to be out and about in than that.
Fucking hell.
So fun.
So
So technology-wise on these 2010 car, you have, I don't actually know, can you connect your phone to this?
Yeah, it's got Bluetooth, but
It's got Bluetooth for your phone, but I mean, we've recommended to customers in the past, in some of the older cars, it sounds like a joke, but you might actually be better off with just getting a good quality portable speaker. A little tunnel here.
oh, here we go.
So good. I think if you can keep it original all day for me, you know, you can get new head units put in and touchscreen display. Keep it original. For me, on if I know I need to be on the phone, I'll just have some Bluetooth headphones with me.
Yeah.
And if you want music, just chuck a good quality portable speaker in there. That boxes that issue off. I like the interior. It feels quality. You've got the leather stitched dashboard.
Yeah.
All the leather's nice. Carbon fibre steering wheel. So it definitely doesn't feel like a brand new car, but it doesn't feel particularly dated or.
The thing that I mean, we'll get onto it probably more so in the 296, but in Ferraris generally, a lot of the features and interior kind of like layout and all of the switches and stuff, they're not in the normal places. It's like even the indicators are on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
It's like I've been out on a couple of test drives before in Ferraris, and people are like literally going to obviously use a normal stick indicator, and they're on the wheel because an awful lot of the stuff isn't where the normal layout is.
Well, it's all very driver focused, isn't it?
It's all very driver focused.
It does take a bit of getting used to.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing that, generally speaking, I would say there's been a massive shift in Ferrari's kind of driver focus infotainment in the 296. So go out in that, and there's such a shift in where the controls ordinarily will be. But yeah, in terms of quality interior, I mean, leather's leather. I mean, obviously, it deteriorates over a period of time, but in terms of quality and, feel of everything, it's a nice interior. And this has also got additional carbon options. So you get the carbon down the centre, the carbon LED steering wheel. It just adds a little bit of special. Yeah, we've got the gear change indicator lights on the steering wheel as well. And I like how the rev counter is bang in the centre, a bit like the 911s. It's all focused, driver focused. The first thing I noticed was, because of these bucket seats, it is harder to get in and out, isn't it? It's hard to get in and out, and also it sounds suspect.
It is beautiful in here.
From an interior perspective, it feels more sporty than the 458 because you've got nice Alcantara, you've got carbon.
The yellow stitching is very nice.
Yeah, so from an interior perspective, I'd say it's a sportier environment than the 458.
Key, that's a nice little pouch for the new key, but how do you get it out?
There we go.
The new key is beautiful. There's a little pouch in the centre for it to sit in as well. We've gone full digital display in the centre. It's very futuristic. It's
crisp. It's really crisp.
Very crisp. Even though I've not got my glasses on, it's still crisp for me. Standing still rev.
It sounds good because it's
nice,
a Ferrari, but it's just not as visceral.
Just like the 458, if you're expecting the brakes to work properly, you need to get a little bit of heat in them.
So snappy.
It's biblically quick, that.
I mean, this car's a combined 800 brake horsepower, so it's 650-ish from the engine, and then the hybrid top-up is about 160 brakes, so it's just over 800 brake horse, and that's hypercar performance.
At what
supercar.
At what point do you say, actually, I don't need any more horsepower?
We sold a DBS Superleggera, and that's 715 brake. And they're insanely quick, and this is like another 100 on top.
Yeah.
So it's like, where'd you cut the line?
If you're not going to chuck a raft of mileage on something like this, it is going to depreciate, but people accept if you're buying a supercar or a hypercar, you're going to have some sort of depreciation. It's just what people are comfortable with, isn't it? In terms of the ride quality on these, they're not, although it's a hypercar, they're not crashy. They're actually relatively comfortable to drive around in.
And at this kind of price point, you're at probably, a GT3 Manthai, like we've had one recently, and that was 190.
Yeah, or comparable McLaren 600 LT. I mean, they are, you feel like you're in a Batmobile in those, they are cool. Yeah. But the one thing I noticed, they were extremely firm. I'd say this is probably a little bit more forgiving. We're on rough roads here, and it soaks it up fairly well, I would say.
Yeah. So $1 million question, Will, which one are you taking?
This or the 458?
Yeah.
Which one would I buy, personally?
Yeah.
I think money's a bit safer in the 458, isn't it?
Yes, money is safer in the 458, yeah. What do you prefer the design of? I mean, you know, price aside, I know it's a big gap of 100 grand, but, you know, if they were both side by side and they were like, you know, money no object.
They're both very pretty. The 458 is starting to get a bit of a classic look to it, isn't it?
Definitely.
Modern classic. It is a. This just looks like a Batmobile a bit, doesn't it? It's like a
spaceship thing, isn't it?
Yeah. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. If you are looking at financing your supercar or any car finance whatsoever, please give us a call at Warford Cars. Drop us a message. We are finance specialists.
Yeah.
Got a call this afternoon, and you've got a new date, and you're going on a first date.
Yeah.
Are you taking the 458 or are you taking this?
Do you know what? If you kind of obviously being in and around these types of cars quite regularly, we'll obviously know, you know, the general difference. But do you know what? I think both of these two cars side by side, you'd arguably say almost they were at the same kind of
caliber.
Era. Yeah, the same caliber, but same era, I would say. I mean, we know them because we see them all the time.
If you're taking a young lady out with you as well,
yeah,
you might want the comfort seats.
that is true. Yeah,
The cream seats.
the cream seats. Well, you don't want that one because it squeaks a lot. So
Well, it could get a bit awkward.
probably the 458, to be dead honest, because it's got a little bit more theatre around it. I mean, it's not to say that this doesn't. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's an 800 brake horsepower Ferrari. What's not to like? But I'd just say because it's got a bit more of a raspier sort of note to the exhaust, and generally it's just kind of still got a really classic look to it, I'd probably edge slightly towards the 458, to be dead honest with you. What about you?
Interesting. I think I'd take the Batmobile. Take this.
Yeah, stealth it.
Also, the benefit of this is you might look a bit of a sausage if you start playing your music through a portable JBL speaker. Whereas at least with this, you can pair your phone up and you've got your Bluetooth audio tunes coming through.
That is true. I didn't think about that. Sounds like a really small thing, but the steering wheel on this is slightly nicer.
It is nicer to touch. There's some other things that are nice to touch as well. The door grab handle.
Yeah.
Right, so it's perforated leather, but it's padded as well. It's just really nice to grab hold of.
It is, to be fair. We're back in the office. Jack has put some numbers together. 20% down on the 296, it's working out at £2,400. And on the 458, 20% down again, and it's half the price at £1,200. So adds a bit of debate into it.
I take the 296 because I just won £1 million. And if I want to sell it in a year's time, I don't think the values are going to change that much. If you've just won the lottery, which one would you take in? Put a comment down below. Let us know.
Jam, you could dive in and say that. More videos coming.
Just really fluff them up.
You could twirl them as you're saying it. More videos coming.
You can't twirl your hair, can you, Jordan?
I could do, actually. It will look amazing doing it.
Strong wind, blow it away.
Yeah, that's it.
Please give us a like and a follow. We've got loads of cool videos coming up.